Aha. Aha, we're on time. It's still 8 o'clock. We're on time, probably for the first time ever. Happy Crimson Tuesday. Hi, Mousimus. Bill Coon, it's that time again. Eden Waith, good to see you. What if, what if the Tootsie Roll Pop Owl was replaced with Cedric? The world may never know. Probably won't know. Cosmic 43, good to see you. Skeevy Wonder, hello, hello. Yeah, wow. How about that? We started on time today. Don't get used to this. Amberzine, good to see you, Amberzine. Yeah, I don't know. It just sometimes things just fall into place properly, like they're supposed to, but never seem to. And here we are. So it's an art stream tonight, and I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite rocks. It's not a mineral; it's a rock, and we're going to try out some Photoshop Creative Cloud because we were having so much trouble with my beloved CS2 Creative Suite 2 that I figured, well, why don't we give Creative Cloud a try? Months ago, Photoshop on Twitter, who works for Adobe, was kind enough to furnish me with a trial subscription for Photoshop Creative Cloud. And I've now decided that I'm going to try to use it and see if the stylus issues we were having with CS2 while streaming are resolved with possibly a more optimized version of Photoshop. And I did test it, and it seemed like it did a little bit better, but there's no other testing it that will give me a better idea besides actually doing a stream. So, we'll see. Yes, more buckets tonight. Maybe I'll Photoshop Mr. Bucket. Mr. Bucket is already in the scene, so we're going to be fine with that. Let's see. Happy Crimson Tuesday, of course. I'll say it as much as possible. And dev update. Yeah, I've been adding text parse responses to chapter 4, and like asking characters about different topics because different things come up in the story, and so you're gonna want to ask them about those things. That is almost never a requirement in the game, but if it is a requirement in the game, the notebook in the game will explicitly tell you, ask so-and-so about this thing. Otherwise, it's never going to be something that will block progress. The way I've approached text parses, and especially asking other characters questions in the game, is I wanted it to just give you more information about the story, and potentially help you with some bonus stuff. I don't know if I'd call it bonus content, but side content in the game that, subplots and stuff. And so asking questions and asking the right questions will give you information about those subplots, but don't think you have to ask everybody about everything all the time to progress in the game. That's not the case. It's just going to be a reward for people who do want to do that and who are paying attention to what's going on and maybe want to find out a little bit more about the story. Skeevy Wonder, I do not have the full the Creative Cloud suite. I just have the real basic one that is Photoshop and Lightroom. And I'm not even sure what Lightroom is. I'm pretty sure it's a photo thing, like a photography thing, but I don't know. Yes, ask Kimmy about Tootsie Roll Pops. Yeah, if you ask people things, they might have a response, especially if it's something topical for that chapter. And so my hope is that we'll reward the players who really want to dig into the story. But if you're not one of those players, you'll still be able to progress through the main story just fine. So no concern about that. JBL, Judith Butler's lover. Yes, you recently conveniently suffered a case of memory loss for no apparent medical reason. One of the things you forgot was, what is a Roland MT32? It's the 32nd Roland. I believe Roland MT is, I think it's a royal designation. So it's either that Roland is the 32nd in line for the throne, or he's the 32nd of his name. But we'd have to ask Dan. To be sure. I was never really strong on the technical aspects of anything. I'm learning as I go. So that's the dev update. Yeah, adding text parsers to the game. So I've got a list of text parsers I want to add to the game. And after that, I will be testing the game, and after that, I'll be going through a bunch of user feedback that has been submitted for the demo, bugs and quality of life improvements, and fixing that stuff. Okay, Lightroom and the retired aperture are geared toward photographers. Yeah, no idea. We will take a look at Photoshop Creative Cloud and see if it runs better while streaming and doing all the other stuff I'm doing right now. Does Image Ready and Bridge still exist with Photoshop Creative Cloud? Good question. The trial subscription I have is only Lightroom and Photoshop. There's no Image Ready. I don't know if they still do Image Ready. I still do Image Ready CS2. I like Image Ready quite a bit for making animated GIFs, because I find animated GIFs are really useful for when showing like an animation in the game if I want to put it up on Twitter, and just for mocking stuff up, like mocking up a game sequence or something. And so I like Image Ready because you can actually take each frame of the GIF and attach how much time you want that frame to be. So that's really handy. So you don't have to just insert a bunch of frames if you want something to be the same frame for a long time. You can just designate, I want that frame to be in the animation for 2 seconds or something, or 3 seconds, and I want the next frame to be 0.2 seconds. And I really love that part of it. Oh, Bridge is somewhere still. I have a Bridge in my CS2. I have it hotkeyed to something, and sometimes I accidentally open it, and I've never used it. I don't even know what it's for. All this time of having it and accidentally opening it, I still don't know. If you could explain what Bridge is, Adobe Bridge is, I would love to know. And yeah, you can time the frames even with in Image Ready. I don't know, you could probably do that in some other stuff, but it works for what I want it to work in, so I'm not gonna bother myself. Okay. Oh, thanks, Mary Pat. Mary Pat says, hello. I just wanted to say that I played the demo a few months back and liked it. Have not had the time to follow it much, though. Love the demo and hope to see the full thing soon. All good thoughts to you. Thank you so much, Mary Pat. Yeah, thank you so much for playing the demo, first of all. And I love hearing from people who say that they enjoyed it. And that's it's super motivating to hear. So thank you so much. And we'll see about it coming out sooner or later, or what's going to happen. Okay, Adobe Bridge is a glorified file manager or something. Yeah, I don't know. No idea. Okay. Next order of business. Let me take a look. So we've said Happy Crimson Tuesday, which we will continue to say. We talked about where I am development-wise. Chapter 4, just adding the text parses and doing testing. And I guess I should introduce myself. Welcome to anyone who's new to stream. My name is Julia Minamata. I am making The Crimson Diamond, which is a graphical text parser mystery adventure game set in Ontario in the early 1900s. And you play Nancy Maple, who is all over the place. That's Nancy Maple. That's Nancy Maple. And that's Nancy Maple. And you play Nancy Maple, and you're a mineralogist who gets sent on assignment to Crimson, Ontario, and you have to investigate a diamond claim. And you stay at Crimson Lodge, and you meet a bunch of eccentric people. It's a cozy mystery, and I've designed it to look like the old Sierra-style adventure games from the late 80s and early 90s. And the music, this is not the music for the game, but Dan Pollockar is a musician on the game, and every other week he does a music stream where we compose music live for the game on stream, and he does indeed use, as Judith Butler's lover said, a Roland MT32 and for that authentic sound. And that was his idea, that was not my idea, because that's just the kind of nerd Dan is, and I appreciate that so much. Next, I haven't asked Dan, but hopefully next week will be a music stream, and you can see what I mean. Yes, Vavasor, exactly. Years ago, Adobe Bridge was a thing I would accidentally click on and then have to wait a full minute to open it before you could close it. Exactly my experience, except it is a hotkey somewhere. It's some kind of shortcut on my machine, and I never fixed it. Ever. I will still open it by accident sometimes. Same thing goes for that, I think if you press, is it C? I think C might be the shortcut, or comment, or N might be the shortcut for the note function, which I've never used. And I could have removed that as a shortcut. I think it's the N button for Note, because it puts a little sticky note on your document on the actual piece, and it really annoys me. And I always have to click on the little box. It only gets smaller as I get to higher resolution screens. Closing it and then deleting it, being annoyed every single time, and just never fixing it. Good evening, Crit Rocket Runner. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, this guy. Oh. Why can't I just do this? Yes, I can do this. This guy, yeah, that's not Nancy Maple. That is well, Crimson Lodge used to be an inn, so that is the ex-innkeeper of Crimson Lodge, and he's a curmudgeon. He's a crotchety old man who is a recluse and doesn't like all the company that he's now gotten. Deluxe Talks, are there any real-life mineralogists who are inspired by the Nancy character? That's a good question. One of the first female mineralogists in Canada, she would be, I've forgotten her name though. I should shout her out in the next issue of the Crimson Gazette, because yeah, she was a lady who, interestingly enough, so she got her PhD, I think, but she was not allowed to conduct field research because all the camps were run by men, and so she was told, no, you can't do field research, out in the wilderness, because you're a lady. And so she had to do all her research in and around like her neighborhood, like her local area, and she made a lot of really cool discoveries actually. I'm gonna quickly look up her name because she deserves to be named. Let's see, first Canadian woman, I think they called her geologist. Alice Wilson, yes, Alice Wilson. Rocks and fossils in the Ottawa region between 1913 and 1963. Yeah. And so I would consider her definitely an inspiration for Nancy Maple. And that whole idea where Nancy, she wants to become a mineralogist, and she wouldn't really be allowed to do field work either at that time on her own. But because Crimson Lodge exists in Crimson, Ontario, it seems civilized enough for her to stay there and then conduct field work. So naturally she jumps at this chance. And that's kind of how that started. Yes, Blaholtz and Crimson Tuesday. We're here. We were on time. Amazingly. It's never going to happen again. Don't worry. Dan is a character from Revenge of the Nerds. Dan is the best, coolest nerd. Edith, being a crotchety old man is your life's goal. I'll be a crotchety old woman. I think I'll enjoy that. Okay, so so that's that. I introduced myself. Yeah, I'm doing for the game. I'm doing everything except for the music. Dan's doing the music, and and I'll actually, it's time. JBL, Judith Butler's Lover, you are here in time. We're gonna run the trailer, and so if anyone is not familiar with the style of game that this is, hopefully the trailer will give you a pretty good idea. So we're gonna run that. Give me one moment, and then we're gonna get on to. We're not even gonna get on to art yet. We're gonna get on to talking about one of my favorite rocks. I have a lot of favorite rocks, and then we'll get into really field testing Creative Cloud, Photoshop Creative Cloud. Let's take a look. Let's put this on pause and let's run the video. Crimson, Ontario was once a prosperous, lively mining town. But that was a long time ago. Now it's quiet, nearly deserted, and some folks aim to keep it that way. Nancy Maple is an aspiring mineralogist assigned to follow the trail of a dazzling diamond. An intriguing cast of characters has converged under one roof, each meaning to get their own way. Or else. Will Nancy untangle the mysteries and machinations before it's too late? Will the sleepy town of Crimson shine once more? Find out in The Crimson Diamond, an upcoming adventure game by Julia Minamata. The Crimson Diamond demo is available on Steam and itch.io for Windows PC and Mac OS. Okay, great. So that's that. Yes, so Nightbot just put in the links into chat. The first one is thecrimsondiamond.com, which is where you'll find all the social media links, Twitter, Facebook fan page, all that stuff. And the second link is the Steam store page for the demo. The demo is chapter 1 of the game. The game has 7 planned chapters. As I mentioned, I just finished chapter 4. And please do play it, wishlist it. If you have any feedback, you can email the feedback email address that's on there. Please let me know if there's anything I need to fix or improve. Third is the YouTube channel. So I stream on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, and then after the fact I put them all on my YouTube channel, which is Julia Minamata. And just for anyone who wants to just see what they missed or whatever, that's a nice place to find all that stuff. Next link is Twitter. Next link after that is the dev blog. I do have a monthly dev blog, and I call it the Crimson Gazette, and the latest issue for May just came out yesterday. So if you click on the blog, you'll find every issue. We're on issue 31, I think. So I've been doing this for more than 2 years, and so you can kind of see the progression of all the fun stuff and the kind of streams we've been doing, and some rock facts and some crafts. I like to do a lot of crafts. This beautiful quilt. This beautiful quilt is by my mom. She made a Nancy Maple quilt, and it's the best thing ever. And yeah, it makes me happy every time I look at it. Oh, you like the flair around the text boxes? Thanks, Kurt Rocket Runner. I actually made a different style text box for when the player is outside. I don't know if that showed or not, or if I had done that by the time I did the footage for the trailer. But oh, well, you played chapter 1 in December, Mary Pat? Oh, Mary Pat. So yeah, chapter 1 is the demo, but the rest of the game, so chapters 2 to 7, will be all of, like, the full game. When I launch the game, the whole game will be 1 to 7 all together. I'm not going to be launching the chapter separately. Tika, good to see you, Tika. Awesome, long time no see. Okay, so that's that. Now we're going to go into, we're going to do rock talk, because I mentioned on Twitter that I've been making jewelry with semi-precious gemstones. And the semi-precious gemstone that I used is this one here. This one. I say my favorite. I have so many favorites. And also, it's in these earrings. And the rock is... Oh, good, Skeevy Wonder. Yeah, please enjoy. Yeah, so this is the rock that I like. And so, yeah, I have to say that the Crimson Diamond is a project where I've put a lot of stuff that I'm personally interested in. I've always been interested in rocks and mineralogy and geology, and so when I decided to make a game, that everything that I liked, I just kind of smushed it all together to make one thing. And so this necklace, this pendant, is Lapis Lazuli. It's an 18mm cabochon Lapis Lazuli. One of my favorite rocks. It's a rock, it's not a mineral, because it's actually a conglomeration of a bunch of different minerals, and we'll talk about that as I get into my little mini Lapis Lazuli presentation. And yeah, these earrings I did not make. I bought these, but yeah, the same kind of Lapis Lazuli gemstone. Yes, you want to hear Dan use his NPR voice and say, "You have been listening to Rock Talk," or something like that. They whisper, they talk really close. They talk really close to the mic, and it sounds like they're talking right into your ear. But I'm not going to do that. We're going to get into the little presentation I have on Lapis. Yes, ASMR for the win. Okay, so here we go. This is a chunk of Lapis Lazuli from Afghanistan, and Afghanistan is sort of the primary source, and it has been the primary source of Lapis Lazuli for literally thousands of years. As early as 7000 BCE, they were mining Lapis Lazuli in Afghanistan, and they are still mining Lapis Lazuli in Afghanistan to this day. And what we see here, so you can see it's not just one mineral, it is actually a mixture of a bunch of different minerals put together. The blue is lazurite, which does occur on its own in crystals, but that's much more rare. The yellow is pyrite, that golden, beautiful golden yellow is pyrite, and the white streaks are calcite. And so there is a grading system for lapis lazuli, and the grading system has to do with how much of each of these elements are in the actual stone. The bluer it is, the richer the color, the less of those considered impurities that there are, the higher the grade is. And so this cabochon that I have, I'll show you a close-up in the slideshow. I'll show you a close-up of what this cabochon looks like, but this is a grade A cabochon, so it doesn't actually have a lot of the pyrite and the calcite, but I actually like the way the pyrite and the calcite look. I think it's really beautiful. So I actually like the lower grades of lapis lazuli as well. Yeah, there's literally naturally occurring rocks and minerals with literally every color you can think of. And beautiful colors, rich colors, colors that won't fade in the sun. That's one of the reasons lapis lazuli was used in paint pigment, and we'll get into that real soon. Oh yeah, so lapis, Latin is lapis is stone. Lazuli is from a medieval Latin form of an Arabic and then a Persian word meaning sky or heaven. So it means sky stone or heaven stone. And I mentioned, yeah, so lazurite does occur in crystal form, but it's more rare. Here we have lazurite crystals separate, but it mostly all kind of occurs in that rock-like thing. Let's see. Here is the pigment. I'll be talking a little bit about the pigment in a little bit, but yeah, it's in the Middle Ages. The pigment was exported. Well, the rock was exported to Europe, and they kind of crushed up the lapis lazuli into a pigment, but you need to get rid of those pyrite and calcite impurities to get the really deep, rich blue. And so for every 100 grams of lapis lazuli, you would get 4 grams of pure ultramarine pigment. And so it was extremely expensive. It was the most luxurious pigment available, and it cost more than gold. Yes, I am a fan of blue. So this is another thing. Yeah, so the logo for the Crimson Diamond is red and blue. And yeah, so I love the blue. I love this coral kind of warm red as well. And so one of the first jewelry projects I did was, and a little mineral presentation I did was carnelian, which is a beautiful translucent deep red color. Yes, exactly, Judith Butler's Lover. Extremely expensive paint, reserved mostly for the cloak of the Virgin Mary for most of Western art history. So I have a couple paintings here, so I will be showing that. Yes, blue is not a common color in nature, so anywhere you can get it is great. This is a 5.2 centimeter tall image of Ptah, the god of craftsmen and architects. It's Egyptian, from between 945 and 600 BC. We've been using lapis lazuli and enjoying it for thousands and thousands of years. Just like with malachite the previous week, previous art stream week, and carnelian the week before, these ones have been well known and well loved all through time. This is a Sumerian head from about 2600 to 2500 BC. A gypsum shell, lapis lazuli, bitumen, I guess it's kind of like the carbon, that's the black around the eye. And so that one is also quite old. Yes. This I love because, first of all, I love jewelry and I love minerals. This is a Sumerian necklace from 2600 to 2500 BC. Gold and lapis lazuli. This is incredible. Can you imagine? This was 4,000 years ago, just about. And look how this could be modern. This could be worn today. Yeah, Stevie Wonder. Yeah, lapis lazuli is famously known as it was part of the ornamentation in King Tutankhamun's funeral mask. That is a very, very famous application for it, for sure. This is an ancient Egyptian scarab. It's a finger ring. That's what the gold wiring is. It's actually a ring. This was from 1850 to 1750 BC. Another favorite material for scarabs was another material we talked about a couple weeks ago called the carnelian. They would actually carve scarabs out of carnelian as well. So this is a beautiful example of a scarab ring made of lapis lazuli. Oh wow, Mary Pat. A couple weeks ago, had the prime blooming of a flower that looks like nightshade here in Åland. In spring, all natural green grass places turn almost blue. Oh, that's beautiful. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Probably used as an artifact, JBL says, for the goddess Inanna, as she's famous for having a necklace of flies made of Lapis Lazuli. Oh, artifact, yes. This is a Neo-Babylonian seal from the 7th to 6th century BC. So another like a seal ring they've carved into that, and I guess that would be stamped into wax or something for a seal. And as I mentioned, it's used in paint pigment. Famously, this is Vermeer's Girl with a Pearl Earring. And this is where I tell you guys that there was a hot minute where I nearly named the Crimson Diamond, this game, the Girl with the Diamond Herring, because in the introductory sequence, a fisherman finds a diamond in the belly of a lake herring. And I thought that would be a funny name for the game, but common sense prevailed. It did not happen. Judith Butler's Lover, you've never heard of Vermeer? You've never heard of A Girl with a Pearl Earring? And you live in Amsterdam? Well, it is a famous painting. But there's so very many paintings. This one, hold on, let's see. For some reason, some of these just... Okay, this is a painting, obviously, of the Virgin Mary, and you can see that how bright the blue is on that cloak. And this is the picture I actually took when I was in London for Adventure X in 2019. And so this is just my iPhone photo, and it's incredibly vivid. This is from 1640 to 1650, Virgin Mary by Sasso Ferrato. This painting is, like 400 years old, and the blue is just pow. It's just right in your face. Yes. What's fun? Oh, okay, Judith Butler's Lover. Okay, sarcasm, yes, doesn't transfer well over text. Yeah. Okay, so you do know, you're very familiar with Vermeer, I'm sure. Okay, and the flower, the nightshade type looking flower in Åland is called Scilla, Scilla. What you'll find if you go to galleries with a lot of paintings, religious paintings from the Renaissance era, if you just look a quick glance around, you'll immediately see that same blue just popping out everywhere. It is the brightest color in just about all the paintings. And yeah, most often it's going to be this cloak, because it was very expensive, so it was reserved for very important subjects. Oh, according... This painting, Girl with a Pearl Earring, is the basis of a novel by the same name, which was adapted into a movie, which is how Scarlett Johansson became famous. And according to Wikipedia, Eden With adds, The Girl with the Pearl Earring is considered the most beautiful painting in the Netherlands. Now you know. So let me... oops. Re-flip this. And this is another picture I took at one of the museums I went to in London. One of the many free, amazing museums in London. On the right we have a Lapis Lazuli container of some kind, and on the left is, I think that was jasper or some kind of agate or something. But just I'm fascinated because they're so beautiful, and so that was something I caught my eye 3 years ago nearly. Grundislav, good evening. Oh yes, let's shout out Grundislav. For anyone who is new to the stream, Grundislav is a fellow solo indie game dev who is currently working on Rosewater, recently of Lamplight City, the Golden Wake, and those are available if you have not bought them. They're a good play. I have both of them. I've played Lamplight City, and it's a wonderful detective mystery game. Recommend Rosewater. Grundislav streams on Wednesdays for Wild West Wednesdays, the game dev stuff. Actually, Grundislav, I've got a question. So, no, my pleasure. You really inspired me to start all this in the first place, so I have a debt of gratitude to repay. But Grundislav, so when you stream Wild West Wednesdays, do you find any problems with your style? Do you use a stylus when you're drawing? I think you do. Do you have any problems with stuttering with the stylus or delay or lag? Because I have a lot of problem with that when I'm streaming pixel art stuff. Oh, not this week. Okay, no Wild West Wednesday this week. On vacation, sweet. Are you going anywhere? I guess you can't, or maybe in the States you can. Any plans? Fractal Mind Mike, awesome to see you. I'm gonna shout out Fractal Mind Mike. Fractal Mind Mike. So we are going to. Fractal Mind Mike is going to play the Crimson Diamond demo for the very first time on my Friday. I guess it's both of our Fridays, but he's in Australia, so the time's a little different. But it's going to be 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, and I'm going to be in chat to answer his questions and maybe give him some hints or answer viewers' questions, things like that. 9 o'clock Eastern, and so that's going to be 11 p.m. his time, Australian time. Yes, 11 p.m. Australian time for Fractal Mind Mike. Oh, nice! You're going to Miami to visit your mom, Grindoslav. That's awesome. Have fun. AEST, Fractal Mind Mike, Friday 11 p.m. or also known as 9 a.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. Well, Eastern Daylight Savings Time is what we're on right now. But yeah, if you guys are available and can, yeah, Friday, I get to see someone play the Crimson Diamond demo with fresh eyes, which is always a treat and super educational. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you, Fractal Mind Mike. Oh, you don't have any issues with your tablet while streaming, but sometimes it messes up beforehand and you have to restart. 10 p.m. for you, Maximus? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. This is another one of my pictures that I took. There was at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, there was a jewelry exhibit going on, and I loved every single piece. This was a piece that really caught my eye. You can see it's a gorgeous Lapis Lazuli brooch. It looks like also with maybe diamonds and gold. It's a really modern piece. A lot of the stuff, they actually had stuff from the very beginning of human civilization all the way up to modern stuff. It was an incredible exhibit, and this is something that I loved that was pretty modern. And here's another modern piece that really caught my eye. I thought this is something, it was kind of a design idea I wanted to steal for myself, because it does look eminently doable by just about anybody, but that's the beauty of it. I would eventually like to make a necklace like this. And here are the cabochons. So these are all the 3 gemstones that I've been showing in the past 3 art streams. Yeah, so the top one is carnelian, so it's that beautiful red color. And the one on the bottom left is malachite, which is a gorgeous green color that was used in pigment. And it was light fast and beautiful, but toxic, which is why they stopped using it. But it's beautiful, again. And, of course, bottom right is Lapis Lazuli, which is that's the pendant I've got here on right now. Gorgeous, beautiful blue color, also used in paint pigment. Oh, that reminds me. I'm gonna just go to well, I'm nearly finished this, so I'll finish this off first. You would totally wear carnelian, Fractal Mind. My carnelian is awesome. It is awesome because it is beautiful. It is awesome because it is economical. It's pretty cheap. And the color is gorgeous. Crit Round, you think malachite is your favorite? I actually said the other week that malachite was my favorite, and I think Deluxe Tuck said, I thought labradorite was your favorite. And I'm like, yeah, you caught me. I have a lot of favorites. Malachite is wonderful. Yeah. And if I get a white pendant, Judith Butler's Lover says, you'll be the next avatar. I'll be the avatar. I do love this, the red, green, and blue. The primary colors of light. Oh, Deavor, sorry, Deluxe Tuck. Deavor said it, yeah. Yeah, you caught me out. I've been saying all this time that labradorite is my favorite, and yeah, I have a lot of favorites for different reasons. Yeah, the D names. I get you guys confused for no other reason, but you have a DE in your names. I'm sorry. And here are a collection of my Lapis Lazuli pieces. So on the left we've got the earrings that I'm wearing right now. The upper right are my kind of fake Lapis Lazuli that I made with polymer clay. And the necklace is, the necklace I'm wearing right now with the Lapis Lazuli cabochon, 18mm cabochon. And the bottom right is something I wanted to talk about. There actually is something called reconstituted lapis lazuli, and you'll find that in craft stores. So if you find if you go down, there's usually a section for gemstone beads in craft stores, at least in a place like Michael's, and you might find something that says lapis lazuli, but it will be suspiciously cheap, and it's suspiciously cheap for a reason, and that reason is because it's probably reconstituted. If you look on the back, it usually says on the back that it's reconstituted, and what that means is they grind it all up, and they smush it together, and they dye it, and then they put the pyrite flecks in it. It actually looks pretty decent of a facsimile, not like the simulated malachite we saw a couple weeks back. This one could actually fool people, I think. So be careful if you're looking at if you're going shopping for lapis lazuli and you feel like something's a bit too cheap. It probably is not the genuine stone that hasn't been crushed up and reconstituted into some other form. Exactly, Dave. Well, yeah, your eye looks like an L. Yeah, it resembles so very much. Yeah, Judith Butler's Lover. Judith Butler's Lover. The reason also your name stands out is because on my chat window, your name is red. Davor's name is like cyan, like a dark cyan, and the deluxe tuxes is like a green, and they're very similar in color too. And so certain names, just because of the color they are, will stand out more for me too. Yep. Real lapidary shops are so fun. I don't think I've ever been to a real lapidary shop, unfortunately. And yeah, so be careful. That one would be easy to mistake. Okay, great. So I was going to show you this book. So this book, Chromatopia, and it's really fascinating because it actually goes through. It talks about a lot of different rocks and well, not just rocks, but different paint pigments and how they come to be made. So you've got stuff like, ones that you might never have heard of, like they would use lead. Red lead is probably a fairly common one, and they'll tell you about it and how that got used. They also have, here's malachite. Actually, we talked about malachite. And it'll have really exotic stuff too that I didn't know was even used for anything. They have what do we have here? Arzica. These are all I think most of these are naturally derived. Sepia is from the ink sacs of cuttlefish. Fascinating book. This is actually a book I found in a bookstore in London, but I couldn't bring all the stuff home, so I just wrote the name down and ordered it at home. Peach black. Peach black is carbon black made from charring peach stones. It's things like that. And it actually, what it does at the back, which I find really interesting, is it actually tells you how you can make your own paint pigment, which is very involved. If you wanted to, you could make your own paint pigment here. Mary Pat, Julia had an interesting thought. You like painting. Do you know if people use these minerals for painting? You can. Like I said, sometimes you can actually make your own paint. And the guy who wrote this book, that's how he started. And he actually has his own artisanal, I think, paint factory or something. And some people actually use natural pigments that you can get from just about anything, like leaves and fruit and earth. Anna CGG, if she was here, would tell you that her dad actually would make his own pigments out of just about anything that you'd find, any plants or roots or grasses or anything in the backyard, and use those for his art. So it's definitely a thing people will do. Okay, so I say so a lot. I noticed that watching back on these, if I say, there's one word that I say a lot, and it's so. I'm trying to reduce that. Chris Gwynn, good to see you. Good evening. Another game dev, another fellow game dev has entered chat. Well, good to see you. That is our little lapis lazuli presentation, and now we are going to try Adobe Creative Suite and see, with the streaming and the recording and the music and everything happening all at once, we're gonna see if the stylus is actually going to be up for the task, or we're going to get that same weird jitter we had 2 weeks ago. Let us go to Photoshop. And Photoshop is Control 8. And yell at me if you don't see Photoshop. Okay. Yeah, stylus jitter is incredibly frustrating. That was the reason I returned the Microsoft Surface Book 3, because I was thinking, hey, this is great. You know, I can get a Surface Book 3 and use it as a tablet PC and also draw on it. But you cannot draw on a Surface Book 3. The stylus jitter, just on its own, not even streaming, just on its own, is maddening. It's completely unusable. Oh, your Microsoft Surface just started jumping all over the place. Yeah, Chris Quinn, I thought it was like a stylus issue, so I got them to send me other styluses. I tried just about everything I could think of. What model do you have? Because I have a Microsoft Surface Pro 2 that I really love, but it's kind of showing its age. Okay, yes, the rim light is good on the bucket. Okay, I just want to test. I'm really curious about how this is going to work. Well, it doesn't stutter. It stutters a bit, but it doesn't stutter like CS2 was stuttering. It's not bad. Why don't we actually open up CS2 at the same time and see the Surface Pro 3, and you also love it? Nice. Nice. I'm glad. Yeah, I love my Surface Pro 2 so much. And the thing that I always tell people about the Surface Pro 2 is it used Wacom drivers and everything, so it was Wacom tech in a Microsoft product, and they just don't do that anymore. Is this a zebra print I'm selling? It's the only Microsoft product you ever felt warm. Just a Jeffy, good to see you. Yeah, I tried Lazy Nizumi, just a Jeffy. Yeah, I did, and it didn't seem to help that much. And oh, hold on, why? What's going on here? Did the music stop again? Did VLC Media crash? No, it's playing. What happened? Oh, yes, it did crash. Great. No. That's fine. Give me a second. This is what I wanted to test. First of all, I wanted, for some reason, CS2 is not opening at the same time as CC is opening, which is curious. Open, I said. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Okay, well, we're gonna close. Hold on. We're gonna close. I wanted to compare them side by side, but apparently Creative Cloud does not want you to do that, so I have to close one and open the other. Isn't that strange? There can only be one. Yes. Yes, Mouse Miss. I watched that not too long ago. In a weird way, it holds up. Highlander? It's silly. Okay, let's see. Am I gonna have the same problem with this, with the weird stuttering I would get? Let's see. It's silly. It's fun. I like it. It's really sincere and earnest in what it's trying to accomplish. Highlander is. What? Okay, so here we go. Brush. And I gotta turn on shape dynamics. Okay. Oh. Yeah, see what it does? It kind of does a weird stuttery, leaky thing. But it's better than it was last time, and there's no reason for that. Isn't that something? Oh, Photoshop. Sorry, Big Julie. Okay. Control 8. Thank you, Maximus. Yeah. Yeah. I was just testing out the stylus just now, and it's not. It's not doing so much of the stuttering that we were having a problem with before. And I don't see. Oh, it's doing a little bit. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, it's not. Yeah, this doesn't work. This clearly doesn't work very well. Yeah, it happens when streaming only. This does not happen when I'm just using. Yeah, that's definitely okay. So that's worse. I'm gonna go back to Big Julia and I'm gonna try to remember. I'm gonna open up Creative Cloud again, the Creative Cloud Photoshop, and we're gonna see about that because it did seem like it was better. But I'm just give me one moment, and we'll see. Okay. What kind of grain of salt? This is a Wacom Mobile Studio Pro 16. So it's actually like a whole. It's a tablet PC all together. It's not just a Cintiq, and it's not an Intuos or anything like that. Okay, back to here. Defaults. Yes, big mug. I only use big mugs. The little teeny tiny mugs are just not going to cut it for me. Okay, so let's see. You see, this one is much. Yeah, this is much smoother, isn't it? Okay, well, it would seem that if I want to stream drawing, see, Creative Cloud is somehow going to be better for that. Yeah, you see? Yeah, Mary Pat. Yeah, I think it's definitely on my side. And it looks like a hardware thing, although it looks like it's worse with CS2, and this stuttering that I'm having with the brush is vastly improved in Creative Cloud. So that's good to know. Oops. That's actually really good to know, because I actually maybe could do a drawing stream at some point with Creative Cloud. So that kind of encourages me to maybe continue to use Creative Cloud. Oops. This is fill. Some of that's different. I don't like different. That's just supposed to clear the whole screen. Yeah. What's the artist equivalent to an audience member shedding a Freebird? Draw me. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't know. So this is, yeah, this is working, you know, like this is doing what I want it to do. So that's all fine and dandy, you know. I tend to press really hard, so I probably would want to change that. But this definitely works. Creative Cloud is not letting me down in terms of what the heck is going on with the stuttering, so that's nice. Yeah, the lines work. Fill background color. It's the same as clear. Why don't you just tell me to clear? Yeah, so the lines work. The lines work. The lines work fine. Okay, well, that's nice to know. So in a Photoshop CS2 has something over. I mean, Photoshop Creative Cloud has something over my beloved CS2. For whatever reason, it's working better with no other changes. Is this the girl with the pearl earring? Let's do the girl with the pearl earring. And here's another thing about Creative Cloud though that I don't like is when I have Photoshop open, I like to have my windows open, but these are tabs. Can I? Okay, I can do that. Okay. So that's fine. So I can click and drag and get them to be tabs now. Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering how to do. Because let's say I wanted to open up, yeah, girl with the diamond earring in her. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, now it's chugging. Okay. Oh no, see, I don't want it in this separate thing. I want to pull it out like this. I don't want that to always happen. I don't know. I've just started using Creative Cloud, so I don't know. But yeah. Okay, so let's do let's draw the girl with the pearl earring. Yeah, Grundislav, you have no idea what Creative Cloud even is or does. I don't know either. But all I know so far, what I know is that I could probably stream art. Oh, Meripat, oh, thanks for the sub. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, so that's all I know. Grundislav, I don't know anything else about it. You know, of course, it's a subscription service, but if I just get Photoshop, it probably won't be that bad. Yes. Flucus, I certainly held out from CC for a long time. CS2, yes. Highly resistant. Still hanging with CS6? Yes, CS6. Yeah, The Last Samurai, CS6. Yeah, Skeevy Wonder, yeah, CC is just an umbrella for all the Adobe stuff and his own app you can launch from. They do updates all the time. I just had an update for it a couple days ago. Have you ever used, Chris Quinn wants to know, have you ever used pixel art specific programs, Aseprite or similar? I have used Aseprite. I like Aseprite a lot for animation actually. It reminds me of using Flash back in the day because it's got a timeline and everything is really nice. I do like it. It just takes some getting used to. I do want to get used to it. But I have used it for some assets in the Crimson Diamond, particularly when I have a really long animation. I find it really helpful. Some of the features they have, and the pixel perfect brush in Aseprite is really good too. Yes, only cool kids use CS2. We're Grundislav, we are hipsters. We are the CS2 hipsters, and all my other programs I use are still CS2. Adobe Illustrator CS2, ImageReady. I use Macromedia Dreamweaver 8 still. Yeah, I haven't grown or changed, but seeing it how nice CC, the Photoshop Creative Cloud one is, you know. She doesn't have any eyebrows, does she? That's kind of a bummer. It's kind of hard to draw when people don't have eyebrows, you know? Because eyebrows are actually pretty expressive. Undo. Her mouth is so weird. Yikes. Oh, I'm gonna make that bigger. E. Is that eraser? What is this? Oh, eraser tool. Change pixel. What? What? No, I don't want to learn more. What? Oh, right. She's got a short little chin. Her mouth's kind of open funny. Yeah, this is it's pleasant. It's pleasant. It's pleasantly smooth. I don't mind it at all. And I might consider, yeah, just getting Creative Cloud for Photoshop. That might be something I do. Because this is... Or just even to stream, I don't know. You know? I don't know. Could do that. Just like Vermeer. Just like Vermeer. Oh no, I put this on the background, didn't I? Ugh. Well, it is very similar. That's not a problem. Same shortcuts, that's nice. I appreciate that. We could do this. Eyebrows disappear over time. So I'm just gonna catch. Oh, Matt, good to see you. Matt Hamill, CS2 Club, woohoo! Yes. Oh, started wizarding. I made you sub. Well, I'll continue to do this a little bit then. Yes, even better if Photoshop CS2 is used on 15-year-old computers. Yeah. I'm not that far. I'm not that far down the rabbit hole. But I'll hold on to the rest of the CS2 suite really tight. But Photoshop, this one might be one we kind of like. We might have to let this one go. Yeah, Dreamweaver, Chris Quinn. Dreamweaver 8, not even Dreamweaver MX. That is how hardcore I am. Oh yeah, Grundislav and Matt, Matt Hamill and Grundislav are having a reunion. Yeah, I think Flucus. My first Photoshop was Photoshop 6 or 6, and then soon after that 7. Oh, Mona Lisa had eyebrows, but they faded. Interesting. Give her cat fangs. Oh, hold on. It's a bit. Give her cat fangs. She looks unhappy. Girl with a lapis earring. Grundislav, you are not. Oh, you're. First of all, Grundislav, you are not crumbling into dust. And second, Anna, it's good to see you today. Yeah, I'm just playing around. I'm testing Photoshop Creative Cloud, courtesy of Foster Shop, who gifted me a trial subscription to Photoshop and Lightroom. I wanted to see if I could actually stream drawing, and it looks like it's a possibility, which is nice. But yeah, Grundislav, explain how you're crumbling into dust. Unless that happened really recently, as of a couple of years ago, you seemed fine. I'm just testing this whole thing. Doing a really my faithful, incredibly faithful rendition of the girl with the pearl earring. You can see this is some, there was wasn't there a movie of somebody who would do these fakes of paintings and they were so utterly convincing. They would even use the same kind of pigment from back in the day, and so you can make really convincing fakes. This is very much like that, isn't it? There's like weird ruffles over here. It's funny how if you draw something you notice all the little things. Look at her. Look at her. Isn't she something? Most beautiful painting in the Netherlands, is it? Someone said. Excellent. Couldn't be better. Why don't we do another one and then we'll get into some pixel stuff. Maybe I'll have a snack. Tim's Vermeer. Yeah, I remember Sakana Cow. I remember that movie. I didn't watch it, but yeah, this guy who was not even an artist, who broke down the Vermeer painting in such a way that he could reproduce it perfectly. Really cool. Oh yeah, Matt Hamill. First task of every new computer is to port over your most trusted companion, the CS2 installer folder. Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, I put all my old stuff in. You get a new thing, and the first thing you do is just get that good old 15-year-old software back on the newness. Yeah, yeah, he wasn't trying to make a fake. He was replicating the Vermeer based on the method for sure. Yes, Tim's Vermeer is the one. But I mean, I think there are stories or movies of people who actually will try to do a fake. Oh, Mary Pat, it's not the details; it's the way I saw it. Let's try this one. Sesafaratos, Virgin Mary, and then we'll get to doing something for real. This is just jokes right now. Oh, you oh my goodness, Flucus, my sympathies. You're using GIMP and you're really trying. Um, I tried GIMP and it was so much like Photoshop, but just different enough from Photoshop to be absolutely maddening. Good luck with it. And you say you're going back to college. Good luck with that too. Oh yeah, so Anna, we were talking about pigment, and I remember your dad was making his own pigment for paints and things. And do you remember what kind of stuff he was using to make his pigment? I want to fact on mine, Mike. You use GIMP as well, but it makes you feel sad almost all the time that you use it. It's almost like hearing a song that you like, and then they drop a note every few bars, and it's just or it's going downstairs, and one stair is like a little bit too high or a little bit too low. There's something about it that's familiar, but just not familiar enough. Yeah, finding lead paint would be incredibly hard to do with Butler's Lever. You could make your own, I guess. There might be, hey, maybe in my book there might be a recipe for lead paint. Yeah, GIMP's UX is disappointing. I tried to do something with a brush. I think what broke me is I was trying to edit one of the brushes and I couldn't do it. Ah, just a Jeffy. GIMP for image editing, Krita for painting and drawing. Okay, so let's do my faithful representation of Cessa. I want to say his name right. Sassoferrato. Sassoferrato. Virgin Mary. Whoa. What are we going to start with here? We'll start from the top and work our way from to the bottom. I don't know, where do people like to start? Let's start over here. We can almost do this like a blind contour, and then we can move into other stuff, and yeah, you can just adjust everything as you need to adjust it, really. It's digital art. There's absolutely no fear. Right? I'm not even really looking. Okay, so that's pretty good, right? It's close enough. Something's happening over here, and then we have a thing that goes like this. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe not. Ah, that angle's wrong. Let's do this. It's digital art. It's fine. You can just redo stuff. It's gonna be fine. And not even really looking at what I'm doing. I'm just following the contours with my eyes. Okay, verdigris, copper for green. Lapis for blue, ochre for earth reddish brown. Oh good, Skivvy Wonder, thanks for dropping by. Have a good night, good luck with your work. Oh, thanks Mary Pat, I appreciate it. At least 7 Ben Jordan games were made with Photoshop 6. Black was carbon. Bone, so you'd burn bone, and then you'd get the carbon. That's awesome, Anna, because yeah, I remember him showing us his artwork, and it was just really super cool to see that he was making his own paint and stuff. Whoa, what was that? I didn't like that. It was different, I didn't like it. Let's go in for a face, I guess. Why is it sliding? Ooh, I don't like that. What's happening? Stay where I put you. Tonda, good to see you. I'm gonna shout out Tonda. Tonda's an awesome game streamer and artist as well. And I'm just playing around. I'm testing out Tonda. I'm streaming with drawing with Photoshop Creative Cloud because for some reason I cannot stream drawing with my beloved CS2. It stutters ridiculously. But yeah, I mean, fortunately, I have a subscription for a year to Photoshop Creative Cloud, so I'm actually just uh, I'm playing around with it just now. I just want to see what I think. The face is gonna be the hardest because everyone knows what a face is supposed to look like, and if you mess up a face, well, we know what happens. We all know that one picture. And her eyes are kind of open but not open. Open but not open is kind of a hard type of thing to do. Ooh. Oh, she looks really tired. She's not really tired, is she? In the picture, she's kind of like in repose. Oh no, she's cross-eyed. Yikes. Go back, go back, go back. How many? I don't have any more go backs. Well, I'm gonna make her more sleeping, and she's got bags under her eyes. Okay, and she's got a suggestion of neck, kind of. And then this part goes under like this. Oops. It folds and goes under like that. Okay, and then she's got like a ruffly thing here, I guess. Something. Oh, and we're just gonna get to those hands. Wow. Really, you know, exactly like the source material is what we have here right now, you know? Let's get those hands in. Oh. Save, no, we don't want to do that. We want to save on the computer. I don't know, testing. It's pretty descriptive. Yes, Grizzlebeard's paid per undo, but business. I had this as a step back, my undo, and it's not doing it. And it's kind of concerning. Yeah, yeah. You get if you buy a pack of 5 undos, you save money. That is true. Oh. Yes, that's Studio. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm just we're testing the Creative Cloud. We're gonna do the hands next. Oh, that doesn't work now? Oh no, I don't like that. No. That's different. That's different. Don't like it. That was scary. I didn't like that at all. So let's just stick her hand somewhere. We can always adjust it. Hands, yeah, hands are tough. Hands can be tough. If we just don't get too wrapped up in what's going on with them, then we should be okay. So let's just, I'll start with the pinky and work my way. And also, if you're doing this from just looking at a reference, it's actually not too bad, because if you don't think of it as hands and you just think of it as shapes, that could probably help us. We'll see. I don't do this usually. I don't just draw like this. Haven't done that in a while. So I don't know what's actually gonna come of this, but ooh. Okay. It's fine. We have a general understanding of what's going on. Oops. Fingers do get thicker as they go down. That's kind of a good rule of thumb to have. Oh, that's supposed to be in line. Anyway. Okay, and then this finger comes up here. Sure. And this should come up higher. And there's a lot of fingers. Holy cow, how many fingers does she have? you know, you get the idea. I mean, it's a basic idea. She has at least 8 fingers, right? I mean, we don't, there's like 8 here. There's a thumb maybe back there. I don't know what that is. It's fine. And I'm seeing a lot of the detail. That's fine. Okay. Good enough. Wow, her hands are pretty big. Let's make them smaller. Move them, make them smaller. What is it? No. Actually over here, aren't they? It's fine. Anyway, you get the basic. I want to follow the contours more, actually. You'd think that if I could do this quickly, you'd think the pixel art was no problem, but you know how long we've been struggling with that, so. Her head needs to be bigger here. Yeah, hands are tough. Yeah, hands are tough. If you're really stuck, just take a photograph of your own hand exactly as you need it and just trace it. There's no shame in that. Well, anyway. We get the picture. That's close enough. Okay, yeah, it works. So proof of concept is it works. Now let's try it with the pixel art. And interesting, let's see if making it the... Yeah, so good. That's not gonna... Okay, that's good. Hey, Heavy777. Yes, take a photo and trace it. We're living in the golden age of tracing and reference for sure. Yeah, buckets are more challenging than hands. This guy we've been working on for quite some time. But yeah, we're gonna clean some of this up. We were cleaning up this side before, and I'm just gonna add another layer so that we have a different layer that we're working on. We'll see. Am I down saving this image or using a copy? I'm just saving a different layer. Yeah, it's definitely not as laggy. So what this is doing is it's making me feel like I need to get CS6 if only to stream art, because I can already tell just working on it right now that it's smoother in a way that's going to help me finish this a lot faster. Interesting. Very interesting. It held like 30 photos, but you had a digital camera. Grindoslav, you got a new phone today? Congratulations. You excited at the prospect of taking a 60 FPS 4K video for rotoscoping? Nice. Your rotoscoping's looking really good. I saw the one that you did with that person's face turning. Oh my gosh. Fractal Mind Mike, you had one from 2001 that used a floppy disk and had a max resolution of 800 by 600. I barely know how to do digital art, Mary Pat. It's actually I want to learn how to do digital painting. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. All of my art, I did illustration, and a lot of my art was it's very flat. I never really did form and light and shadow with my artwork. Um, no, I don't think of anything on this actual PC that's my artwork. I was a freelance illustrator for 10 years. And so I did a lot of illustration, so I used a lot of Photoshop, but I never actually used Photoshop for painting or doing anything else. So that was that side. Oh, that... Yeah, this is just the having no lag is actually helping quite a bit. Yeah. Funny. Because the lag between the tools is not there anymore. Oh no, I'm so sad. I'm so sad that I might be replacing CS2 with the new hotness. Say it ain't so. Yeah, it's already faster. I can already do this much faster because there's no horrible delay. Isn't that nice? So I don't like how this zoom works though, but it's growing pains. Oh, why is that still up? Oh no, I don't like that. What is that? Why is the grid staying up? I don't want that. Okay. Yeah, it's just growing pains. But yeah, I got rid of that pixel grid. But yeah, I mean, I'm really pleasantly surprised at how much smoother this is. And I'm not fighting the 1 or 2 second lag I was having before. So that's nice. Okay. I will have to look into getting... When this expires, I'm going to have to look into getting this, because it's feeling pretty good right now. And just a reminder for people who are just in stream right now, Fractal Mind Mike will be streaming the Crimson Diamond demo for the first time on Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, actually. This is what we're on right now. And I will be there in chat to answer questions or give hints or, you know, see how he's doing. Because I'm interested. I'm interested as anybody. And yeah, and next week should be a music stream with Dan. We had some technical difficulties last music stream, and I couldn't talk on the stream because Discord. I was listening to the audio through Discord, but for some reason Discord, the audio for the music he was playing was not coming through, and so I couldn't hear. I was listening to the stream actually with you guys, and so we're gonna try a different thing with that. We're gonna try a different, like maybe Zoom or something, and see if that resolves the audio issue we're having. Oh, Flukas, you've had also issues with Discord audio? Yes, in fact, Mike just finished his second playthrough of the Colonel's Bequest last week. Yes. What did you think of it, by the way? What did you think of the Colonel's Bequest? Because yeah, it's definitely my major visual inspiration, and yeah, it's a text parser mystery EGA. took a lot from that. But yeah, I can already tell this is going to help me get through these pieces so much faster. What a difference a little lag makes, actually. Yeah, it's not a music stream without audio issues, you're right. But this is feeling pretty comfortable. I'm ashamed to admit, the Creative Cloud Photoshop is feeling pretty comfortable right now. I mean, there were a couple things that kind of bothered me, but this is feeling, it's just working better. Oh, that's encouraging, Fractal Mind Mike. Immediately after your first playthrough of the Colonel's Bequest, you were in love with it and wanted to play it again. Okay, outputs. Okay, Flucus, I see. Oh, so it likes to switch audio inputs randomly. Interesting. Imagine trying to use their tablet but connected to a remote desktop. That's how we work nowadays. Oh boy. No. But yeah, once again, thank you to Foster Shop, who was a viewer in one of my very early Crimson Diamond art streams. And because I was having issues with, this Microsoft Surface Book 3 and Photoshop and wondering what to do with that. And he was very helpful and kind of trying to get people at Adobe to help me with those things. So I appreciate that. And yeah, got me this trial subscription to Photoshop. And I didn't, of course, me being me, I wanted to stick with CS2 as long as possible and not use the Creative Cloud Photoshop that I was so nicely gifted. But I'm glad I'm trying it out now. Especially with this new machine, because I think that was another thing. Before, until very recently, I was using my 8-year-old Microsoft Surface Pro 2. And it probably wouldn't have run Creative Cloud as smoothly. Yeah, I can't imagine the lag of using a tablet with a remote desktop. That, I'm sorry too. But this is feeling good. This is feeling good. What time is it? 9:30. Oh, I'm getting hungry. This mug, everyone says how big this mug is. Okay, it is a big mug. I don't know how many ounces this is, but okay, fine. It is a big mug, but I'm also kind of a small person, so maybe that makes it look bigger. It's closer to the, it's closer to the camera, so maybe it looks bigger. Yeah, it's funny how the mind works. You got hungry the second I said I was hungry. I do want to have a bit of a snack, but it's not like an easy to eat fruit snack, so I don't know. I brought it down. I might eat it and talk about it. Oh, so that's no problem with Photoshop. Yeah, I think I've talked about that, how to do dithering in Photoshop before. And it's actually it's pretty straightforward. I think I have a dithering layer here. Yeah. Yeah, this is the dithering layer here. This is a transparent and black checkerboard dither that I have. And I use a layer mask to paint in and out of that. So here's adding to the layer mask. Well, painting it in or painting it out. But switching between the black and white brushes on the layer mask here using the cyan. It's called the Cyan Dither Copy 17 layer, of course. But yeah, the black painted out and the white painted in. And it's over the whole screen, and that's what I've been doing with dithering. And that's one thing that I don't know if Aseprite has anything like that for like layer mask dithering the way I like to do it. So yeah, I'm still more comfortable using Photoshop. Are you serious, Anna? You have a big coaster on its way to me for this big mug. Are you serious right now? Anna, you are the best. You are. Thank you. That's awesome. Oh yay! Well, Maripet, I don't know what chat call is. Is that a thing in Twitch? You're on this little island in Scandinavia waiting for a full release of the Crimson Diamond. Thank you. Okay, go enjoy Jimbles. Jimbles is an awesome streamer too. Well, not too, but he is an awesome streamer. I'm not that awesome as him. I'm not nearly. See ya, Maripak. Thank you for dropping by. There is? Is there a... You're surprised more drawing programs don't have a non-isolated fill mode for the paint bucket. What's non-isolated fill, Deavor? What layer was I on? Okay. This one. Okay, yeah, good. Okay. Oh, did I just shut down? Did it crash again? VLC Media Player crashed again. Why is this happening? Oh, color replace factor mind by gotcha. Okay, interesting. You can replace solid colors with dithers that way. Okay. Oh, and I'm glad you like this scene. Hopefully this is not, this isn't going to take me as long as the other scenes have taken me. Especially like the way that the smoothness right now that the Creative Cloud is running right now for Photoshop is helping me, I think, because it's really disruptive when you pick a tool and there's a bit of lag and you switch back because you don't think it worked and you just end up getting completely disrupted with it. Winamp, eh? Fractal Mind Mike? Cosmic 43, you say my devotion to this piece is inspiring. Very inspiring. Thank you, I appreciate it. Is it my devotion to it or is it my like obsession with it? I mean, are we gonna forget the Royal Canadian Museum thing that happened where I took a year to do that and it's still not done? Let's not talk about that, maybe. But thank you. Yeah, exactly, JBL. Nothing beats the university building scene. Yeah, it took as long, it took as long as the gestation of a human child. I'm loving, I can't say enough how much I'm loving how smooth this is right now. Yeah, exactly, Dave, or what Royal Canadian Museum thing. Oh my goodness. No. Yeah, we don't talk about the Royal Canadian Museum anymore. Thank you, the deluxe text. Well, it's not like you only gestate a human child for 2 hours a night every other week. I'm not very clear on how these things work, so I'll just go with what you're saying. I do want to have my snack, and I guess I should tell you what that snack is tonight, and then I'll eat it in front of you. I made a chocolate prune cake, and it's moist and delicious, and it's got so many prunes in it. I think it's basically a health food, or at least, something to get the bowels going potentially. Uh, it's got 120 grams of prunes in it, which ends up being about 20 prunes, and it actually goes really well with chocolate. And so I'm going to eat that. It's only got about half a cup of sugar in it, all told. And so yeah, it's about as healthy a cake as you can get. Oh, Anna, you like chocolate prune cake and bean brown? I've never had bean brownies. Montag FTV. Thanks for the shout out. Hope the brush feels better on this version of the app. As always, we love your feedback. Thank you. Yeah. Is this Foster Shop? Because it's been so long since we've had contact on Twitch. Yes, please, Anna, send the bean brownies recipe. Yeah, the brush feels nice. The brush feels really nice. The way the zoom works now is a bit scary to me because it's so smooth and sudden. Like it's kind of it jolts me in a way. It kind of the rate of it the rate that it happens is kind of unsettling because it goes slower than fast or faster than slow. It goes, it's not a constant rate, but I mean that's something I can just get used to. Thank you, Montag FTB. Thank you. Yeah, so Montag FTB is Foster Shop, who so graciously gifted me this trial subscription of Photoshop Creative Cloud that we are currently testing. And I don't know if you were here for me testing the brush, but I was very pleased with how the brush worked with while I was streaming, because when I was streaming with CS2, the brush was very jittery, and with this it was pretty smooth, I have to say. And I'm currently on a Wacom Mobile Studio Pro 16. So I didn't have any trouble with any of the pressure sensitivity or anything. Everything was great right out of the box. It was just a matter of streaming art. It was very challenging with CS2 for whatever reason. Montag FTB, you can ask about the acceleration curve on Zoom, if it can be adjusted. You know what? It's not a big deal. It's actually kind of funny. I don't mind it. It's just different, and anything that's different is scary. Yes, it's a chocolate prune cake, Lucas. I will show it and I will eat it for the benefit of the stream. Yeah, I don't know if you were here for that, but I did see, this is another thing that I was talking to people that I'm not sure about liking, because when I started a new piece, it doesn't open on its own tabby page. It defaults to being nested in with the previous document. But again, it's just, as soon as I saw that I could click and drag it out, it wasn't a problem. But I was looking for on the upper right hand top part where you used to be able to, you know, go full screen or minimize the pane, things like that. That's no longer there, so I couldn't. It was actually pretty user friendly for me to figure out how to pull the tab out from the nested document. It took me only a minute to figure that out, probably less. But yeah, we were looking at some artwork, and I was quickly trying to just duplicate it. What do we have here? Let's pull another one out real quick. Oh, this happy fellow. Yeah, when I open up a new document, it just is nested. It's a minor thing. But it's pretty great, I gotta say. The pressure sensitivity is kind of nice. And there's no jittering and there's no stuttering. And the cursor on any Wacom tablet is just rock solid. No jitter. And yeah, the Creative Cloud lets me work so let's work on this really quickly and let's see if it stays with me. So if we just take this guy here, let's work smaller. And this is another difference that is different but fine. It used to be you could control A and then delete, but now it's a fill, which is whatever, it's fine. Oh no, I didn't want that to be the background color. There we go. Let's do this completely contour. I'm trying not to look what I'm doing, work really super fast. But it's super smooth is what I'm trying to say, and I do appreciate that. I guess I can't work that fast. Well, this went better last time, didn't it? Wow. But yeah, it's smooth is what I'm trying to say, and I really appreciate that so much. Yep. Anyway. So far, so good. And I am seriously considering getting a subscription to Creative Cloud just for Photoshop, so I can actually draw better on stream, because that's how much better it feels. It's Squidward, yes. Oh yeah, I was gonna eat my prune cake because I'm starving. Okay. Oh. Oh wow, that's not good. Oh, what happened? Why did that do something? What happened just now? Why did it do that? Okay, it's just a view thing? Channel? Okay, that's fine. Because unfortunately, my shortcut for Big Julia doesn't work. Oh, hey, let me write that down, Montag FTV. I appreciate it. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much what you do. And your help that you gave me in trying to figure out the issues with the Surface Book 3, I can't thank you enough. Foster Shop. Versus. Oh. Just to know that you guys take the time to even address my concerns, my very strange and specific concerns. I really appreciate it. Okay, great. I will do that. Right now it's snack time. And unfortunately, yeah, the shortcut for Big Julio is Control 5, which is opening up just the blue channel. So that's gonna have to change. Anyway. Snack time. Snack time with my giant mug. And what I mean by mug is this, not this. Okay. Chocolate prune cake. Super moist, super heavy cake. I'm gonna eat it in front of you. It's gonna become, what is it called when people eat in front of people on video? It's called a thing, isn't it? Mukbang or something? That's what we've come to. We're probably gonna go to about, yes, rude, therefore, true. So it's got powdered cocoa and baker's chocolate, the semi-sweet baker's chocolate, and lots of prunes, a bit of sugar, a bit of flour, 3 eggs. And of course this is going to get all in my teeth. I don't know. Should we... Does this even need to be a thing? And I'm not sharing. Oh, you know what? The sound of this is probably awful, so I'm going to turn off the mic. I will take cake breaks because I don't think it's probably that engaging to watch me eat the whole cake all at once. This mug, okay. Is it really? It's not really that big, I don't think. Is it? I mean, it is big, but I don't think it's as big as you guys are really thinking that it is. Like a novelty size. Your mom made chocolate tofu cake, Anna? What kind of tofu? Because I always think of tofu as like really watery. Although the prunes were pretty watery too. Yeah, Cosmo 43, the prunes it's almost like how you have fruit cake, right? And the prunes make it really moist. It must be an optical illusion. I'm trying to find something for scale and I can't find anything right now. Okay, I'm gonna go back into the cake. Have a good dinner, Anna. Yeah, I don't have a banana down here. Just as it happens, I don't. Okay, how about Hoyle Book of Games? How about a CD? Is this doing anything for you? This is how big the mug is. It's as big as a CD in relation. This isn't the same visual plane. This is not, I'm not going to do this. No. Anyway, I don't know what to say. It is a big mug. Okay, I'm gonna do the rest of the prune cake, and we're gonna come back to some pixel art until about probably. I'm not sure what time yet. Maybe 10:30, 10:30. I haven't decided. But here go back off the mic goes, so you don't have to listen to me eat this thing. You only have to watch. Judith Butler's lover says, I just realized Julia is not in a wooden cabin, like all Canadians. Those lines next to the quilt are lines of the quilt and not wooden beam lines. Yeah. Behind this is 100% log cabin. That's how we do in the Great White North. Okay. Back to Photoshop. I'm going to switch now because Creative Cloud has a weird channel shortcut here that I can't use, and I will forget. Okay, we were just cleaning up just cleaning up this area here. Well, Fractal Mind, Mike, your yard is full of kangaroos and koalas. Do they get along at least? So this branch has to belong to something. Oh, I'm glad they do get along. Davor, your yard is full of burger wrappers and loose ammo. Okay. So where does this branch that I like compositionally needs to connect to a tree? Oh, yeah, the kangaroos kick, but the koalas hug them. Let's see here. Yeah, let's connect this here. I guess. You know what I'm going to do while we're here? I'm just going to quickly message Dan and see if he's up for a music stream next week so I can prep for that. Yeah, it's amazing, Slat Studio, Devoid, that you have a battle system, because I wouldn't know even how to begin programming something like that. Dan is tentatively able to do a stream next week on Tuesday, music stream. We were working on a cozy mystery theme last week, so I'm wondering if we'll go back to that, and hopefully we'll be able to test our audio setup and get it so that I can talk and listen to the music at the same time. Yeah, this is moving so much faster. I can't even get over it. Let's see. Yeah, I think what I'm going to have to do is just clean this area up and then go back and redraw some stuff because it's just too muddy right now. But yeah, Dan should be good for next week, and he can fully answer Judith Butler's Lover's question about what an MT32 is, and show probably some new acquisition to his collection of games, and come up with a nice piece of music as well. And then the week after will be an art stream and more of this. Maybe we'll get into animating at some point. And this is all for a scene that is up on screen for, I don't know, very few seconds. But there we go. It's nice to be able to trade off between the music and the art. These tend to be kind of more, I guess, chill streams. And I don't have to in the music streams I like them because I can just kind of relax and let Dan do his thing. Yes, Judith Butler's Lover. You're going to find out who Mr. Roland is. Roland, the 32nd of his name. Oh yeah, Grindeslov, I'm sure with your rotoscoping, if you had $1 for every time you spent ages on an animation that was only on screen for a couple of seconds, yeah. Yeah. Rotoscoping, I'm I admire you greatly for rotoscoping. I would never. The struggle is real. It's worth it. We all know it's worth it. Yeah, Matt Hamill mocap for my pixels. Yeah, that's what's so great about working at ultra low res. You know, there's not much to move around. So, and also I like to think that my animations are trying to look like the style of the Sierra animations anyway, which were very few frames to begin with. So, if they're a little choppy, that's okay. I can get away with a lot. Um, Hunter 1043 is asking, would I ever consider enlisting help on a project such as this? Uh, that's a good question. For the artwork, no, I don't think so, because actually most of the art, for the most, well, for testing for sure, I'm gonna need more help. Um, for anything else though, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of, it's really, I don't, my instinct is I wouldn't, but I would never say never. Ha! Maybe a supplementary artist for making stuff that isn't so important. um, I don't. I guess for me, working on my own versus working on teams, I always tend to feel like by the time I've finished explaining to someone how I want something done, I could have done it. At least for my own game. Grindislav, how do you feel about enlisting help for other aspects of your game? Have you ever done it? And is there something like Lancelot's axe animation in Crimson Diamond? There are a few similar types of anime, maybe not as dramatic as that one, but I do have fun making a few animations that are like that. Yeah, Maximus, I do enjoy working solo. I've been working on a few unannounced things here and there that have been teams, and I've really enjoyed learning how to work on teams. It's been a super educational experience for me. But there's going to be always something about working on my own projects here and there. That there's something about that still really appeals to me. I like both ways, but I've worked by myself for so long. Even in my first career as an illustrator, I worked on my own for 10 years, and I guess I'm just used to it by now. And especially with a game like this where there's art, there's animation, there's story, there's dialogue, and having it all in my own planning in my own head to make it all kind of one cohesive whole has been a really good experience, and I think will help the game in the end. A lot of people, 11043 says, a lot of people don't mind contributing for a name in the credits and a free copy. Well, I've been doing that with testers. I have some beta testers who have been super helpful they will be in the credits. And doing anything solo, there is a definite sense of accomplishment when you do something solo. Of course, most of my solo stuff has been illustrations, which don't take nearly as long. I mean, believe it or not, I know the Royal Canadian Museum piece took quite a long time, but most of the time art does not take that long. And Nightbot just dropped the links in chat again. Yeah, so the Crimson Diamond Gazette, the latest issue came out yesterday, so the last link in that bunch of links is a link to the dev blog, and you can read the latest from Crimson, or you can subscribe to the Gazette and get it directly to your email box. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm really curious about, like, any other developers, like Chris, Gwyn, Grindislav, anyone who's actually launched a game, if they've ever had that help in those other aspects. So I'd be curious to find out. Oh. And Slat Studio finished his game. Yes, Betrayed Alliance. Solo. And without any help? Oh yeah, Grindislav, yeah, Hunter 1043 was asking if I would ever consider getting help in, any of the other aspects of the game development, like the art or, anything, like basically art, I suppose. Have you ever gotten help or hired anyone to help you with anything related to your game besides the music? Okay, two guys put together a mini game in Slat Studios game. Fractal Mind Mike has hired artists to help as well. Yeah, so I'm kind of curious what people's experiences have been and stuff. Ah, yes, Shardlight Ben Chandler did the art animations for that, of course. But for your other stuff, like Lamplight City, or would you consider doing that for Rosewater? Was hiring somebody else? Not at this point? Grindislav, if you felt you were really running behind schedule, would you consider it? Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I probably would say no for me. Yeah, another expense to worry about, exactly, yeah. But yeah, I don't see myself doing that. Did I get a new chair? What's going on with my hair? I did not get a new chair. This is the same chair that I've been streaming with for the past however long. Can you see the chair from here? Grindislav says, thankfully I've managed to feel like I can handle stuff even as projects get bigger in scope. I have yet to feel overwhelmed. That's awesome, Grindislav. That is very awesome. Still my first game, so I still have a lot to learn. It's so impressive that you've made, what, like 13 games now? 14 games? I'm super amazed and impressed. Really. Just to Jeffy, as a non-artist who would like to make games, I'd happily outsource 100% of the art. Yeah, art is a tricky one for sure. I consider myself lucky that I started as an artist and kind of segued into doing game stuff, because art can get expensive, I think. And it's so important in games. Grunislav's asking, here's a question. Do I still enjoy loading up the game and wandering around the lodge? I haven't really just wandered around the lodge in a while. Not even for testing, just to wander around. I don't, but sometimes when I'm streaming, I like to do it. Just to kind of give people the lay of the land. Or a little bit of a taste of what outside the lodge looks like. I haven't done that in a long time. But I will say that in Colonel's Bequest, sometimes I like to do that. Just wander around the plantation house in Colonel's Bequest. Ah, interesting. Grindislav asks, well, what I mean is, do you still enjoy playing your game? Well, I guess you mean you mean playing aside from testing. I don't know if I've played it as not testing, but just playing it. I should, but it's one of those things where it gets so repetitive that it's hard to see it for the first time, which I guess makes me feel really fortunate when I can watch people play for the first time, such as Fractal Mind Mike, who's going to be playing the Crimson Diamond demo for the first time on Friday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. I treasure those types of interactions because I am too close to it that I can't tell what's fun or interesting anymore with it. It's just pretty rote. Or just I like the environment still. I do really like the environment. I like the little house I built. I don't wander around in it. But what do you? I mean, I'll turn that around on you, Grindeslav. Do you still do that with your games? Do you still enjoy playing your game or wandering around the environments? Yeah, Hunter 1043. The plantation did have some nice sound design, and Dan and I need to include some of that in the Crimson Diamond for sure. Oh, goodness. I mean, when you load up the game or test to play or whatever, does it still give you enjoyment, or do you think, oh, here we go again? When I compile the game or load up the game to test, I'm so happy when it just plays. It still feels really cool that it's a thing that has all these little parts and all work together. One of my favorite things to do is when I've implemented an animation and I've implemented so that it works perfectly fine with everything else that's in the game. That feels really cool. I really do enjoy that. Yeah, I will say it still gives me enjoyment. It feels still like a precious little thing to me. Because, you know, I keep adding to it, and it gets bigger and bigger, and I feel really proud of what it is so far, you know? Because it's an experience. It's not just art anymore. It's something that people can interact with and explore. And I've never really created anything like that before. Everything I've created has been art, which I love to do, and that's my first thing. But making a game is so different from making art on its own, which has been super rewarding. Because when you start getting into people's heads with a story and a setting, it becomes really... I don't even have the words. It becomes something special, like a special experience that you're giving them. And what they take out of it is a lot to do with, you know, what they bring in with it, what they bring to it. But it is a combination of art and story and all these other little things, all these little decisions I tried to make to create this experience that they can enjoy. And when I hear that people have enjoyed it after all, then yeah, there's really there's nothing really that compares to that, I suppose. Yeah, Enter 1043. It's hard to enjoy a mystery when you're familiar with it. Yes. Yes, that studio. Yeah, exactly. It's exciting to see things come together, and watch others experience them. That's yes. When I show at events and stuff, when we can do that again. I love watching that. Um, I love when people type into the text parser and they get a response, and it's just this pleasure, this delight. It's delight. That's the best word for it. When they try something and I've programmed something for them for that. Delight. That is really special to me. Oh, great. Grindeslav, I'm glad to hear that you still love doing that with the rosewater. I think it's a good sign, and it's great that you still feel that way. Yeah, it feels nice. It does feel nice because this is, oh look, I made a thing, and you know, it's a thing where you can go in and out of places, and there's places to sit down, and you can open and close all the cupboards, and it's becomes more than the sum of its parts. And it becomes a place. It actually becomes a place. And that's really cool. Yes, 11043. Southern Ontario Wilderness has loons and chickadees and beavers. This is Northern Ontario. It's actually in a place called the James Bay or St. James Lowlands area. So it's actually quite north, but I'm sure there's a lot of similar wildlife. Yes, Vavasar, exactly. As a programmer, your reaction to that kind of situation is usually, "I'm glad this isn't broken. Why it's running and not crashing, fantastic." Yeah, that's why whenever I load the game to play it and it runs without any errors already, it's like it's a little spark of happiness. Oh, I didn't break anything. I didn't miss a bracket somewhere, or the syntax was okay. That's a little bit. Every time it actually does load up, I genuinely feel good about that. And then later there's more complications. Grunislav says, if your game still makes you excited, you're making a good game, in your opinion anyway. Yeah, it's like a living thing. It's like a little living thing, And when I don't get to touch it or work on it for, a few days here or there, I get antsy. It's like I want to get back in there and reacquaint myself with all the little bits and pieces and make connections with the writing and make connections with other parts of the game and foreshadow things and pay off things. All that fun stuff is hard to kind of not get to work on for whatever reason. If I get busy with something else and I don't get to work on it for a couple days or something, and I go back to the file and I see what day it was that I last touched it, and I kind of cringe and I think, oh my goodness, I need to get back on this sometimes. CGG Rick, good to see you. Good evening. Greetings. So CGG Rick is making a game. He's another fellow game developer now. He is making a game called The Phantom Fellows with Paul Corman, and it looks fantastic. The demo has just come out. Rick, if you want to put the link in chat, please do. It looks fantastic. I can't wait I still haven't played the demo. I haven't played anything in so long. Yes, Slash Studio. Delight is the exact word you came up with to describe what designers were trying to instill in your Sierra Deaths post. Yeah, delight. Delight is the word I would use. And that is what I want people to experience with the text parser, with the game. That is what I want. That is my first desire for them to have. And then I want them to have a feeling, if not nostalgia, then a feeling of, comfort. Even though it is kind of, people find it can be kind of scary and some of the music is a bit tense and everything. But tense in a safe way, I guess. I want it to be a cozy mystery in the way that the best cozy mysteries are. Where, stuff is happening, but it's not too over the top. And it's just something you can curl up with and enjoy. Those are the desires. Yes. Oh, Judith Butler's lover says, seeing CGG Rick reminded me that Roberta Williams knows who you are, Julia. Well, I just know that that CGG Rick and them on their episode mentioned the game. I don't know if she actually knows who I am. So that's okay. Hunter 1043, you're a mystery newbie. You're watching the Poirot TV series right now. We actually played the Poirot theme last week on stream, and that theme is amazing. CGG, the Classic Gamers Guild podcast had Roberta and Ken Williams on one of their episodes, and it was amazing. They were interviewing Ken Williams, and then Roberta just wanders in and starts going into the interview too, and that was really, really cool and super, and just spontaneously happened. Yeah, CGG Rick, it's cool to think that maybe Roberta Williams might be aware of me. That's nice to think of. I met Doug Herring, the artist for the Colonel's Bequest, so that was super special to me. So I know he knows a bit of who I am, which is Unbelievable. Because he's my favorite EGA artist because he did the art for the Colonel's Bequest. And I just am so happy that I got to meet him. There's nothing like a good mystery series. I recently rewatched all of Columbo, and Columbo is a fantastic time, especially the stuff from the 70s. I love it. I love everything about Columbo from the 70s. Orange shag carpet in offices and things like that. It's fantastic. Okay, that's definitely looking cleaner. Let's do a before and after. Yep. Oh, that looks weird. Columbo's, just one more thing. Yeah, that's Columbo's tag signature line. It's a great series, and they've got a lot of really great um, guest stars on Columbo. You've got William Shatner, you've got Leonard Nimoy. Walter Koenig is in an episode. Probably, I think he's in the same episode as Leonard Nimoy somehow. You've got Ricardo Montalban. You've got some fantastic guest stars on that show. It is wonderful. And what's kind of funny is that there's been a couple times where, oh, did VLC Media crash again? What happened? Yes, Hunter 1043. So many stars on Columbo, and the first episode was directed by Steven Spielberg, and he was in his 20s. He was just a kid when he directed that first episode, and he got that chance because I think Peter Falk met him, and was impressed by him, and said, "Let's give this kid a chance." Oh yeah, Jester Jeffy hitting all the nostalgia feels right now. Yes, Columbo. I used to watch Columbo with my parents, and so I was able to rewatch, bought the whole series of Columbo, and watched it with my mom. And that's really it's a really comforting type of show. It's great. Yes, Murdoch Mysteries, Judith Butler's Lover. That's another one, and I should be watching Murdoch Mysteries because it's the same era, kind of roughly, I think, as Crimson Diamond. Oh, cool! Living in Australia, Fractal Mind Mike says, makes you very remote from most of the classic game devs, but you've been in touch with John Passfield, Flight of the Amazon Queen. I recognize that name because it was a game on GOG that I have not played, but I think I have that in my library. That's really cool. Well, I think there's a few people in Australia. I don't know, they're not classic, but current game devs are in Australia. Oh, I need to make this tree thicker. Okay. Yes, a bunch of you now. Well, that's good. Even better now, Fractal Mind Mike. What better time to foster a game dev community than now? I should try a Flight of the Amazon Queen. So let's put... We gotta get a few more trees back there, I think. Yeah, this was really messy before. Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and redraw stuff. Ah, Sean Mills of Infamous Quest and the Sierra Adventure is in Australia as well. That's one of the really great things about Adventure X, actually, is that for European game devs, it's like it's held in London, which is like a real great hub, a travel hub, and it's really nice to meet a bunch of game devs from like Europe who maybe wouldn't necessarily come across to North America, and so that was a really good experience. And I definitely want to go back to London again for Adventure X when that's a thing again. It was amazing. And of course, like the photos I showed today for Lapis Lazuli, the museums and art galleries are, of course, amazing. And the architecture is just out of this world. I would like to go back. Oh, Frankie, Kisai Tenchi, good to see you. Frankie Drake Mysteries is 1920s Toronto. Frankie Drake, I don't know that one. I'm gonna write that down. Murdoch Mysteries is 1895. Yeah, so it's about, yeah, like, Crimson Diamonds about 1914, like, roughly. Let's see, so let's write that down. Frankie Drake. Frankie Drake Mysteries. Judith Butler's Lover, JBL. It's always a pleasure to see you. Have a good night. And thanks for coming by. And yeah, next week, tune in, and then you can ask Dan what a Roland MT32 is. I'm sorry I couldn't answer that. Hunter 1043, yeah, Laura Bo taught you that there is a lot of Egyptian stuff in England. Yeah, I saw the Rosetta Stone in the British Museum, and I keep telling people part of the thrill, nerdily, of seeing the Rosetta Stone was thinking about the dagger of Amun-Ra. But yeah, generally seeing the Rosetta Stone in the museum, it did blow me away. It did. Like I can't. It's impossible to say how cool it was to see that with my own eyes. Did I pick it up and place it in my purse? I would have. I didn't even try though. I mean, I should have tried. Oh yes, Deluxe, you really need some people to go play K-Station so you can talk about it with somebody. Please link it. Drop it in chat. Because I do have it open in a tab on my phone, and I just haven't got back around to it. Let's see. Okay, so it's 10:25. We're gonna start wrapping up. Happy Crimson Tuesday, as usual. Next week is a music stream. We're going to be working on hopefully cozier music, because a lot of the stuff Dan and I have been composing for all the music streams has been like tense, suspenseful stuff, and I want to bring back that cozy feeling, and we need to have more of that kind of music. Flukas, have a great night. CGG Rick, good to see you. Good luck with the game. Amberzine, good to see you, of course, as usual. And yes, please play K-Station. It's a free text parser game. Takes about 90 minutes to complete. So says Deluxe Tux. Crit Rocket Runner, thank you for coming. I appreciate that. Yeah, I would have picked up the Rosetta Stone and placed it in my purse had it not been for the stinky cheese and the rotten meat and the baseball bat. The baseball bat or baseball? Fractal Mind Mike, good to see you. I will see you Friday, my morning, your evening, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you play. Especially now that you've finished playing the Colonel's Bequest. That's going to be something really cool. And so I'm going to shout out Fractal Mind Mike one more time. So please follow him, and hopefully you can catch us on his stream. on Friday. And what else do I have to say? Oh yeah, we're gonna find someone to raid. Give me a second. Let me see who we can find to raid. You'll be working, but you're gonna be there. Awesome, Ambersine. What do we got? What do we got? Ooh. Ooh. Renaissance? Is Renaissance still playing La Mulana? He is. Whew. Just a Jeffy, thank you for coming. It's always good to see you. Have a great night. This is the part I have trouble with every night, is picking who to raid. Let's raid Ren. I don't think we've raided Ren in a while. So let me get that working. But thank you guys as always. Thank you so much for coming to stream. It is always a good experience just to just catch up. And oh good, you have Crit Rocket Runner. You have the Renaissance's there NES ants. Did I finally spell it right the first time? I did. Did that work? Okay. Great. Yeah, so yeah, as usual, happy Crimson Tuesday. And see you next week, hopefully on the music stream. And this was awesome, as usual. And I appreciate the company. And you guys always make it a nice time. Let's see. I'm gonna wait for the bus to fill up. The Renaissance is a great streamer. He's been streaming La Mulana since 2001, I think. And he's a painter as well. He's an artist, which is awesome. His paintings are gorgeous and pretty chill, pretty relaxing. Since time immemorial, yes. I think on the Rosetta Stone, it makes mention of the Renaissance playing La Mulana. That's how long he's been playing it. Okay, we're gonna raid and have a great night and see you next week, hopefully. And we're gonna get this done. Good night.